just out having a lovely summer's day. I just want to say this is my first live. Yay! I didn't know you had to reach 50 subscribers, so thank you to all the subscribers who got me to 50. And then also to thank you to the extra subscribers that subscribed. That was a mouthful. Anyways, today I just wanted to do a live because I did say that I was going to do a live in the near future. It's a beautiful sunny day here in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. Wherever you're at, hope you are doing well. So today, first of all, I'd like to say that it took me a while to recuperate after my shingles, my pneumonia, my infected tooth, my tooth extraction operation. And as you can see, I mean, I'm okay. Everything's okay now. I have a rash on my lips from allergies, so don't mind that. I was gonna put some lip balm on, but I left it at home. It is so hot today. I think it was 20 here. Okay, so anyways, today, I'm just looking, no one can hear me. Today what I want to talk about is something quite serious. And it's a really long story, so I'm going to try to condense it. Okay. So when I was 15, I was just a regular, pretty teenager, popular, you know. We all are, or most of us are. We're all popular in different ways. So anyway, one day I came home and, you know, my phone rang and I'm like, hello. And then there's this silence. I'm like, okay, whatever. Again, you know, hang up the next day, silence. Then there's breathing. Like that into the phone. And I'm like, who is this? You know? No answer, hang up, you know. Then it started getting very serious where he would call me every single day at 2 a.m, disrupt my sleep for school, threaten to put bombs in my locker, call me, you know, F and biatch. I'm just going to say that so I can still, you know, produce this. He would call me all these names. He would tell me he was going to kill me. He was going to beat my face, my beautiful face. There was nothing else left. And he was going to take pictures. And he was going to mutilate my body. And take pictures. And I would not be pretty and popular anymore because my face would be bashed in. I would be dead. I would be mutilated. But he would be a hero on the front page of the newspaper. So there is so many gross things he said to me, and at that time, my phone was under surveillance. The cops were aware, and we were trying to find out exactly who this was. You know, I had to keep him on the phone. So back in the day, so we're going back to 1984. Back in the day, it was like the kind of situation where if somebody called you, you had to keep them on the phone for 60 seconds, sorry, like 1 minute to trace it. So every time it got to 58 seconds, he'd hang up. It started that we'd be having these conversations because the cops said stay on the phone and find out as much information as you can. So here I am hearing all this crappy crap all the time, and it was really uncomfortable. But I asked him one time, why are you doing this to me? You know, you're watching me and you're calling me, you're harassing me, you're stalking me, you're threatening my life, you're threatening my family's life. You call me every night, you know, I can't even sleep. I was terrified to sleep. He could see everything I was doing. He knew what I was wearing. He knew who I was with. He knew the inside of my room, my bedroom layout. I don't know. He just knew everything. He knew way too much. He was watching me 24/7. So this went on for over 2 years, and it got to the point where, I had escorts to school because there's a bomb in my locker, or, you know, they were really trying to get this guy. At the time, there was a lady in Richmond called Cindy James. I don't know if you heard of her, but she used to work at the Richmond General Hospital. She was a nurse, and she kind of looks like me, you know. Her body was found, she was stalked for 7 years. She was, I believe, murdered. Her body was found across the road from my high school where my stalking started. She used to live in Vancouver where I also got stalked. Um, there was just too many coincidences. We both are blonde and blue-eyed. We both look very sweet. We are both caring people. We're the kind of empathic people. We are both, I don't know how tall she was. I think she was a bit older than me, but we're both petite. We had a lot of things in common. And some of the things that he said to me when I told the police, he's like, what? Because some of this was not public knowledge in the Cindy James case. And he asked me, have you heard of Cindy James? I said, oh yeah, I've heard of her. But like, I think this was at the time where she was, I don't know if she was, I'd have to go back on my dates and check everything, but I had heard of her. But anyway, I don't know if she was passed or not. But anyway, I'm like, well, why are you asking me if I know her, That's kind of creepy because is it like similar things? Anyway, so this went on and on and on. And there's so many traumatizing parts of it, and I actually confronted him and went out to a field one night, and I was just losing my stuff. I had to confront him either way. I didn't care if I lived or died at this point. He was driving me mentally insane. I was having breakdowns. I couldn't function. I couldn't go to school. I was looking over my back, paranoid every 2 seconds because he was always watching me. And it just got to a point where I thought, this has to end. So I actually asked him to go and meet me at the school at midnight. Like, don't be a wuss, just show up. He didn't show up. And when I got home, he phoned me and said, like, I can't repeat what he said on here, but he called me the B, and you're gonna die when I say you're gonna die, and this is not on your terms. You effing B, and it was, call me the C. He was just so mentally abusive, and he was playing like mind games and gaslighting me. It was horrible. It was horrible abuse. It was horrible. Anyway, so what ended up happening was this continued and continued and continued. My parents did not go out for like 2 years because they're like, you know what, we don't want to leave you alone. And I'm like, you know what, this is ridiculous. So I think you should go out, and you'll be home at 2, and I'll have a few friends over. My sister had her friend sleeping over who I was looking, after. And I'll have a few friends over. So I had like 5 friends over. Having a couple drinks, playing some cards, listening to music. I put my sister to bed. She was only 7 or 8, and her friend. And then when I came down, me and my friends started kind of socializing. We weren't loud. But anyway, he phoned me during that time. And he told me that he was going to come over tonight and he was going to kill me. And I'm like, yeah, okay. I'm thinking to myself, you've threatened me for 2 years every day of my life. Just freaking do it already, like, what are you waiting for, right? It was just so much control on his terms. Not that, but like, it was just like he said he was going to kill me. So it's like, okay, well, I gave him opportunity to meet me at the school. He didn't meet me. So called him a few words and said, like, I won't say what I said, but I basically confronted him and said, like, I don't believe you. You're full of shit. So anyways, so one of my friends leaves and he phones me and he's like, this guy's really sick. Okay, he has no conscience, doesn't care about cops, hates cops, has no respect for women. He's definitely psychopath and he's definitely narcissist. Like there's two things going on there, and he's very bold, does not care, doesn't care about himself, doesn't care about you, doesn't care about me, in that term. He probably would kill me and kill himself. Like he does not care. And that's the scary part. He had no conscience, whereas I have a huge conscience. So we are so opposite. So anyway, one friend leaves and he phones and he's like, one, one down, four to go. Till I die, apparently. So then another friend leaves and he says, two down, three to go, Another one, three down, two to go. Or, yep, I got that a bit mixed up, I think. You get the idea. Two down, or four down, one to go. So the last guy that was there was my ex-boyfriend's stepbrother, who we were really close. And he's like, Andrea, I don't want to leave you here by yourself tonight. And I'm like, this guy is not going to show up. He's too much of a wuss. He's been threatening me for over 2 years. I've given him the opportunity. He has not come to my house. He is not coming here tonight. So my friend, he says, he phones back again. He's like, one down, four down, one to go. And my friend got very upset. And he's like, you this, that, meet me at the park and I'll kick your ass and la, 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 la. So he goes to the park, and of course the guy doesn't show up because it's always on his terms, phones back, laughs at my friend. He's that kind of weird guy, that like, he just likes to egg people on. So I was like, oops, I almost said his name. I'm like, you can go because I need to deal with this. So either, I don't think he's going to come. My parents are coming home at 2. It's like 1 o'clock. I think it's fine. Don't worry. I got this. And I was ready at that time to confront him and be confronted and deal with it. And, if I died, I died. If I lived, I lived. I was at a point where it drove me so insane. I don't know if anyone's ever been stalked like this before. Whoops, sorry. But it's very hard. I'm just about dropping the phone. Oh, it's so hot. It's so hot. So I don't know if anyone's been to that point before, but anyway, that was me. So my friend reluctantly leaves. He reluctantly leaves. And of course, my other friend, she phones me. She says, are you okay? Because she had been one of the people that had left before. And she's like, are you okay? And I'm like, oh yeah, like, I'm fine. There's a lot of dogs barking. I am not going to let this guy affect me. Like, if he comes, he comes. No big deal. I'm like, he's not going to come. Really didn't think he was going to come. My parents are coming home in an hour anyway, blah, blah, blah. And I guess we're on the phone quite a while. And then all of a sudden, I heard this like banging at the door, like really loud. Not knocking, not doorbell ringing, not pounding, but banging so loud. And so it's 2 a.m. now, and I'm thinking, oh my God, my parents are coming home any minute. So I go to the window and I was like, hello? I'm like, hello? Like, no answer. I'm like, who's there? I look out and this guy stands back. This is the scariest sight I've ever seen in my life. So he has a white sheet on his head with eyes, nose, and mouth cut out. He has a white shirt with blood all over it. Fake blood, real blood, I don't know. He has a camera around his neck because he was going to kill me and then take pictures of me. He has black leather gloves, so I couldn't see if he was Caucasian or if he was brown or native or, Indian, Chinese. Like, I could not tell. Spanish, I could not tell. So I was like, okay, like, what do I do now? Like, he's standing there, and all of a sudden he had these like white shirt, black pants and these white leather runners, and he takes out this baton, I guess you would call it. It's what the cops have, where they like hit people with it. Because he did tell me he was going to bash my face in and all this kind of stuff. So he takes this baton, he's hitting his hand with it. Like he's smacking his hand, and he's looking at me, smacking his hand. And I was like, oh my God, like, I can't believe this is happening. He is going to kill me. Like, he's going to try to kill me. I can't believe this. So I ran to my friend and I was like, he's here. And she's like, call the police. And I was like, okay. And so I had a phone in my mom's room. So I went and I got my sister up. I just basically said, she was aware of it. So I just basically said, that guy's here. And it was really difficult because her friend was our first sleepover at our house, which she probably didn't intend that. And to this day, she brings it up, It was terrifying. Like, my sister and her were only like 7, almost 8. So I get them up. I'm like, my sister to get up. And I was like, come on, let's go in this room. And I barricade myself against the door and keep them in the back bedroom. And I phoned the police. Luckily, my mom had like a really long cord line. I suggest that to anyone, by the way. If your cell dies and you need a landline. So I phoned the police and I'm like, this is my name. There's a guy, he's breaking in my house. He's trying to kill me. I'm screaming. I'm freaking out. She's like, oh, yeah. Because for 2 years, they had been trying to catch this guy to no avail. And they didn't know if he was combined in the Cindy James case as well. So there was a lot of importance on my call. So they're like, it's okay. We're sending police right now. They're en route. They're on their way. Also sending paddy wagons with dogs so they can, trace this guy, hunt him down, jump on him, catch him. And so I go look out the front because I think she's asked me, oh, is he still there? I go look at the front. He's not there. And I'm like, oh my God. And I was thinking, did I lock the door? Because I was in such a panic when my last friend left. I'm sure I would have locked it, but I couldn't remember in that heat of the moment. It was so scary and I was so terrified and everything goes through your mind. So I didn't know if I locked it, but then I thought I did. And so I come back on the phone and I'm in the room and all of a sudden, this guy is such a psychopath. He climbs over the back of my fence. Okay, like 10 feet tall fence, I don't even know how tall it is. 12 feet, 50, I don't know. He climbs over this fence and then he goes onto the roof. He climbs on the roof, which makes sense because I just thought of this now. I did get a call that they traced one call to 2 guys in North Van or East Van. No, Surrey. Wally, I think, and they were construction people. So it would make sense. He's climbing fences, he's climbing on roofs, he's used to this. The crowbar thing, like that pipe, it's like a lot of construction workers, you could probably get it there. So that kind of makes sense to me now. So you learn something every day. I mean, this is all these years later. So 40 years later. 17, so 2 off, so 38 years later. So here I am going, oh my God, I'm gonna die. So he climbs up and he looks at me and I see his eyes, they're brown eyes, and I think they were brown, and he's just staring at me like locked, like, and I'm like, oh my God, like, and then the police got there so fast. Like I said, this has been going on for 2 years. So the police come in, they've got like 5 cop cars, 5 paddy wagons, like all these dogs, German shepherds, canines. And I was like, and I'm looking at them and I'm hearing these police officers and these dogs. And I was like, oh my God, he is not caring or worrying or getting down or anything. He's just debating, should I kill her? And then he looks down. Should I kill her? He looks down. Looks at me again. Should I kill her? And I thought, oh my God, he's gonna like bust this window and kill me. I think because at first the window was on the first latch, so when we saw him, my sister froze and her friend threw up. It was just scary. But I ran into action and I slammed the window shut because it was slightly open on the first lock. I shut it. But like I think he was gonna bust the window down and just like smash it with that bar and then get in and kill me. That is so scary. So then I was like, and then finally he starts slowly getting down, walking slowly. Like he had all the time in the world. Meanwhile, like these dogs are being let loose, the cops are knocking my door, the cops are going around the back of the house. Didn't give a crap. Not a crap. So I was like, oh my God, this guy is just totally psychotic. Completely psychotic. So then he gets halfway through behind our house and he turns around to me and looks at me, stares at me still, turns forward again. I thought, oh my God, he's actually contemplating and still looking at me. Like he's this obsessed with me and stalking me and, obsessed with me and psycho that he's still doing this. Like most people would be running if they were going to get caught, or like all these dogs are after them or the cops, Not him. Anyway, so he stopped for a while after that. We never caught him. He stopped for a while after that. When I was in my 20s, I was assistant supervisor at a YMCA daycare. And I moved out with my girlfriend, and I felt like someone was watching me again, because you get to know that feeling when this happens all the time. You kind of get to know this feeling like, oh my God, I feel like someone's staring, like watching me again. And I thought, oh, I knew I was right, but then I thought maybe I'm being paranoid. All these things go through your head. It stopped for a while. Maybe it's over. It was about 5 o'clock in the winter, and I had gone to take a first aid course. I probably should not have parked where I parked. I parked on a side road, but I had to cross a field, and it was really dark in the winter. At 5 o'clock, it gets really dark. And I just felt like someone was watching me. And then I got in the school and I was like, oh my God, thank God. And I took my first aid course, but then I had to walk back to my car. Everyone went in different directions. So I go back to my car. I see something on my windshield. And it's facing down. So like if like your windshield wiper, you would have like, if you lifted it up and put something like a paper face down, so when you get in the car, you read it. I don't know if it was blood, red lipstick, whatever this guy was using all over his shirt before. He had black gloves on and everything, so I couldn't see him at all. He even had it down to his neck, past his neck, so I couldn't even see his hair. Nothing. I guess I would have recognized him. That's the scary part. So I get in the car and it says, "You're dead, bitch." And I thought, oh my God, I'm not imagining this. This is real. This is happening again. So I didn't want to react too much because I knew he was watching me. So I didn't want to feed into it too much. So I got in the car and I took the note and I scrumpled it up. I never reported it. I should have reported it. Always report. Not that they don't believe me. They believe me. Like I was down at cop station today. I'll tell you about that. So they believe me. It's just that it's really important to report if you're being stalked or followed. So I had a boyfriend at the time and I was living with my girlfriend and I wanted to move out with her because, I was in my 20s and I was like, time to move out. Oops. Sorry. I just dropped the camera. Time to move out. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go and live with her, which I did. So when I drove back, I felt like he was following me home, and then I felt he was in the back of my house. I felt he knew where I lived, and I was running in the house. I was having a panic attack, and I phoned my boyfriend, and my boyfriend came over. I was getting hang up calls there. I was getting the breathing calls there. And that's where it started actually again. Eventually he did talk to me at the beginning, but at this place, it started from the beginning, from scratch again, right? And then he built up. It just gets worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. So then at the same time, he phones my mother at 2 in the morning. And my mom's like, hello, you know? And we were very secretive with my whereabouts at this point in my life. So he says, is Andrea there? And she said, it's 2 in the morning. No, she's out. She didn't say that I was, moved out. She just said that I was out. And so he said, and so she said, can I ask who's calling? And he's like, she'll know who I am. That's all you got to tell her. And he hung up. So my mom panicked. She called me. She was like, oh my God, this guy called. And I was like, oh, I've been followed. It was the exact same time I'd been followed. This note was on my car. My boyfriend's here. I'm with my girlfriend and her boyfriend, who was my friend growing up. So we were safe at that point, but like I knew it was happening again. So this went on for a while, and then I met my husband. A few years later, he was a cop, and all of a sudden, it went completely silent. Like, not so much when we were dating, but more when I was engaged and we were living together, planning our wedding, and then we were going to get married. It went silent. He gave up on me, and I thought to myself, oh my God, the poor girl, who's next? That's what I thought. Still didn't catch him, right? So then I was with my husband for a while, just a few years actually, and we got separated and divorced. But when we got separated, I lived in the house with my girlfriend when we were separated, and then I moved out into my mom's again, right? And I had a boyfriend. I got pregnant with my daughter. And then I went through my pregnancy with my daughter, and my daughter was born. And then we lived in my mom's just a short time. We moved to an apartment just for a short time, for a year. But then we moved into another place. And when we were in the other place, a couple of years, I think my daughter was 3, we're sitting on the couch one night, and all of a sudden I saw this figure, and he was outside my window, outside our window, and he came up the stairs in these big boots, and I just saw the black shadow, and we were on a couch where it's like the walls there, so we're pushed back a bit, so he can't actually see us. He would see the TV on, but he wouldn't actually see us because we're pushed like against the wall. So that was really good. He couldn't really see us. So anyway, all these people are walking around, but I don't care. Anyway, so I was like, okay, oh my God. And then he went and he put his hand and he put it on the French window door, and he started trying to break into her house. And I'm like, oh my God. And I grabbed my daughter, and we kind of slid to the couch, and I pulled her off that way, and we went into my bedroom, shut the door. I was trying to look through my bedroom window to see if I could see, but I couldn't. And I phoned the cops, and the cops are like, stay in the room. We got the cops coming out. Oh my God, there's a beautiful heron that just flew by. And the cops came, and they looked everywhere, and they didn't find him. So we continue living there. Only a couple years later, we move again. We moved to another place for a couple years. Everything seems okay. I kind of felt like you just feel weird and nervous, you know. And then we moved into a new place. And that's the same place that we're in now. We've been here 16 years. So let me just get that right. So we have my mom's, then one place, then another place, the other place, and then this place. So we're in this place for 16 years now. We were in there a couple years, and oh my God. And all of a sudden, we are like, I have to remember exactly. Oh, yeah. So we're sitting on the couch in the living room again. We're watching TV. And all of a sudden, this guy comes into our back gate, into our yard, and puts his hands on the French windows. This is freaky. Puts his hands on the French windows and tries to break in. And of course, we call the police. He takes off. The police come. And they examine the backyard. There's footprints. So there was someone there. There's footprints at the back of the yard. But then they're missing for like 4, 5, or 6 feet before he touched the French windows. So what is he in mid-air? Like, is this some kind of alien? Like, it didn't even make sense to any of us. Like, me and my daughter were like, what? And the cops were like, what? Anyway, so that got documented. And then we get to the other stuff. Okay, so this has been more recent, more consistent, and more frequent, consistent, and in depth. Like more, I guess in depth, that's the only way I know, serious. Yeah, it's getting more serious now, more deep. Okay, so anyway, so phone rings, hangs up. Phone rings, breathes. Phone rings, hangs up. Phone rings, breathes. Whatever. Starting again. Okay. We lived our lives. This whole thing. It never really, goes away. So then weird things started happening. So somebody, one night we were sitting there, and I don't know if we were both home or if it was just me. I don't remember the first time what it was, to be honest with you. It was a while ago. And someone knocks at the door. Someone rings the doorbell. And I didn't get a good feeling. So I didn't get up. And then they tried to break in the lock, turn the door, shimmy it, like, it was, they're trying to get in. Our locks are pretty good, so they leave. So I don't know if I reported that one or not. I can't even remember, to be honest. Time goes on, and nothing happens. And then my parents are gone on vacation, and we're house sitting at the house that I was first stalked in as a teenager. They still live there, so and we lived there for a while and everything, so we go there a lot. And we were actually house sitting their house 2 a.m. It's always like 1 a.m, 2 a.m. This is when he showed up to kill me too, 2 a.m. It's always like this time. So he shows up. Oh, sorry. Somebody knocks on the door, and we don't answer it, because I'll tell you this, my parents are 80. They don't have anyone coming over and knocking at their door at 2 a.m. Okay? Not even us, not even me and my daughter, we wouldn't do that. They are old, and they would be asleep, and nobody does that. So when that happened, I thought, oh my God, what's happening? I got a terrible feeling. It all brought everything back. My daughter got a bad feeling. And the next thing, he rings the doorbell. I don't answer it. My daughter doesn't answer it. We're sitting in the living room really quiet. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So then he leaves. So I phoned the police and I reported that one. I did. Oh shit. I forgot to say that today. Shoot. Oh well. Okay. I reported that one. Okay. So then that was weird. And when I phoned the police, they're like, well, that's not good. Like, they're trying to break in when you're there. Like, the lights are on, the car's there, the TV's on. Like, that's just weird. Like, people don't break in like that. So that was scary. Then back to our house. Another, now, this has happened 5 more times. And that's why I went to the police station today. It just happened a couple of days ago. Was the last time. 5 more times, every single time my daughter's out. The TV can be on, the lights can be on. So you guys help me figure this out. The TV can be on, the lights can be on, my car's in the parking stall, and my daughter is out for a night out with her friends or whatever, and home alone. And they knock on the door, they ring the doorbell, and then they leave. This happened 3 times. The 4th time, they what did they do the 4th time? They knocked on the door, they waited, they rang the doorbell, they waited. When there was no response, I heard him talk to a guy. I heard 2 guys. And talking to one guy, talking to the next guy, and all of a sudden, quietly, I hear a door turn. Like, oh my God. Okay, sorry, this is 6 times, I think. Okay, it turns and he tries to get in, but it's locked. The last time I was home by myself, my daughter was out, the car was in the driveway, the lights were on, the TV's on, everything. There was no knocking. There was no doorbell. There was the most violent turn of the door handle and like trying to get in, bust down my door. I was like, oh my God. Now I can't remember which one I reported. I don't know. I've reported a few times. So then after that, I was like, oh my God, I'm scared now. So that was a few nights ago. Like, no, a little while ago. A few nights ago, my daughter was out. I was home alone, TV on, yada, yada, yada. Exactly the same thing. And I was so tired. I don't know why. I didn't feel well. I laid on the couch for a nap for a couple hours. And it was the weirdest time. I think I went to bed at like midnight. And then I slept till like 2. At 2:05, I woke up with the most uneasy feeling that someone was going to kill me, that someone was trying to get our house. And I think what happened is I heard the door and it startled me, alerted me, and I woke up. By the time I woke up, I guess they had left. I did go outside and look. I've done this a few times. I've gone to the door and opened the door. Like, the cop today was like, don't open the door. Oops. I just get so sick of this shit stuff. So anyway, this happened over and over and over. I'm like, oh my God, this is ridiculous. What can I do? Like, how can I find this person? I believe it's the same person. Excuse me. So I went to the cop station today and I'm like, oh, first of all, yesterday we tightened all our locks, double locked everything, bought new lights for outside so that it was really bright, ordered a camera for the front door. And then, oh, it's getting dark, everyone's leaving. And then I asked the cop today, like, I have dog spray, bear spray. Can I use it? Like, if he breaks in and starts attacking me, I'm going to defend myself in our home. I don't care if I get charged with a weapon. So he says, yeah, you can use it, but you can't hit him after that. So you can spray him, but you can't hit him after that. And I said, oh, okay. Okay. No comment on that. So I can spray him. So I went to the cop station today and I'm like, this is what's been going on. This is the history. He said, do you think this is the same man? I said, yes, I do. What are the chances of being stalked twice? Minimal. I said, come on, let's be real. I go, and the pattern is the same. Like the way the calls and the banging in the door. I mean, the first time he came to my door, he didn't knock or ring my doorbell. He took that crowbar and beat the shit out of my front door. Sorry, shoot out of my front door. And he's when you want to get a rise out of somebody, tactic guy, So anyways, I was like, okay, so I went to the police station. I was like, this is the deal. And it's been happening since I was 15. Okay, I'm now 55. Okay. And I was like, can I do this? Can I do this? Do I have to write a report? Yada, yada, yada. So he said, oh my God, he said, I love these kinds of things. Like, this is my go-to. I am the one that's into this. Next time this happens, as he's touching the door handle, as he's approaching the door, call 911, and you say that it's in progress. And when you say that, it puts an emergency alert to the call taker. Then she tells the police, call in progress, that this person is actually trying to break in at this moment, and they'll release a cop really quick. Now, the cop station is not too far from our house, but there is cops usually in our area. He noted our address, and he's like, I'm going to keep coming around that area, and, I'd love to catch this guy. And I was like, oh, me too. I want to know who it is anyways, and I want to know if it's the same person that it was when I was 15. Can you believe that? Oh, God, my hands are hurting from holding the phone. Oh, I've been talking a long time. Wow. 42 minutes, 11 seconds. So I want to know who it is. I want to know if this is the same guy. First of all, like, who the heck is doing this? Second of all, are you the same person that did this to me 38, 40 years ago? That's freaking scary, man. If you're still obsessed with me, because I am single. I don't know. It's not hard. Like the cop said, he can track you when you move. This is Vancouver, BC. Like, it's so easy to track you and find out where you're living. Anyway, I feel a little more at ease. I have an awesome daughter who's supporting me and my parents. I also have some really good friends that are helping me out with ideas, and they got my back. Like, if I needed to call any one of them, male and female, they would be right there, and I'm very thankful for that. And I have to tell them all that, because yeah, you need that at a time when this is happening in your life and you're really scared. You need it. So anyways, I talked to this cop today, and he's like, oh yeah, you think it's the same guy? Okay, this is my down go-to. Like, I'm going to keep your address in mind, probably do a couple drive-bys. Even if he doesn't catch the guy, but there's a guy in the neighborhood, he can actually stop him and search him and question him and everything. So, like, who knows, right? So I wanted to request my file from when I was 15 to 17, those 2 terrible years of being stalked on a daily, 24/7. And threatened. I wanted to get the file. So he said, oh, well, we only go back to 2014 here at the cop station, because it's 2024. And I'm like, oh, shoot, how do I get that file? Like, I really want. So, like, he gave me this form. This is just so you guys know, in case this is happening to any one of you guys. It does happen. It's called, what did he call it? A PER? Something like that. So what it is, it's a personal information request. So it's just a sheet. You can either do this like on this sheet here. I don't know if you can see it. On this sheet here. And and mail it to Ottawa, or you can go online under Personal Information Requests bracket Privacy Act to request information from your file from your past. And you can do it online, and it's a little bit longer online. It'll be a tiny bit longer. And I think there might be a fee for it, but you can do it online or you can mail it in. I don't know which is faster, but apparently online explains it a little more in detail. So that's my story. I feel better that I talked to the cop today. I feel better that I reported everything. I feel better that we got our locks done. I feel better that we got new lighting, which I have to put in tonight. I'm so happy because it's really easy and it's going to be bright when they come, which makes it more feasible for the camera. Our camera has been ordered. I feel better about that. It will be here in about a week. And I've got our bear spray. I don't think I can hit him with any other weapons, but you know what? I think it all entails saving your life. We do have some self-defense course moves, but also to like, I would, we do know how to kind of have self-defense, and we're practicing that, but I don't know. And it doesn't really matter about weight and size when you're doing this kind of defense. But anyway, I think we're prepared. I think we've done everything that we can do. I think that he'll take due diligence of coming around our home. I think that he will check us out, and he will, maybe definitely if he's working, he will be the one to come to our house and nail this guy. Or if he's not. But I want to get the file. I don't know if I mentioned this before. The reason I want to get the file, I want to see what they found out. And sometimes they write things in there that they do not tell you. But I have rights to that. It might cost them money, whatever. But I want to know what they wrote in there. And I want to know all the guys at the party, because I might recognize one and go, oh my God, that's my ex-boyfriend. Or I remember that guy asking me out. It'll be so easy if there's 50 people that were interviewed and ruled out. I can look at this guy and go, never heard of that guy, don't know that guy. I can look him up on Facebook. I can look him up on Google. I can look for images and pictures and see if I recognize them ever. And if I don't, they're crossed off the list. It narrows it right down. It will help. I really hope I can get this. So pray that I can get this for me. I have talked almost an hour on this, and I've only touched base. I have not gone into extreme details, but I really wanted to share this story with you guys. I needed to share it for myself. I want it shared to help others. You can get some information too. We can all relate to each other, but I also want this to be documented for me in case anything happens to me. I think we're June 19th today, and I just want it all documented. You can never be too safe, and I think it's really, really important to have all this done. And it's my story, and I'm telling you how we're kind of proceeding to protect ourselves. And maybe it can give you some insight. If you guys have any insight on, like, it can help you protect yourself too, but if you have any insight on like what this guy wants. So I said to the cop, like, he's not coming in to be friendly. Like, what the heck? Like, this guy is not doing a B&E because they don't like anyone home. They rarely do B&Es when you're like at home, like sitting there and they're gonna bust in. Plus, we don't really have anything to take. I mean, what, a couple of game consoles or a TV or a stereo or something. Like, we don't have a lot of money. We don't have a lot of jewels. We don't have a lot of, we're not rich. We don't have a rich car. We drive like Toyota Echo. You know what I'm saying? So it is personally to attack me. And I said to the cop, I said, I just feel like it's to target me. And he says, oh yeah, I agree. It's to target you because there's no other reason why somebody would keep doing this. And every single time when my daughter's out, he comes. Like, that's too coincidental. Like, why are you not coming when my daughter's home by herself and I'm out? Never. Why are you not coming when me and my daughter are home together? Never. So it's when I'm out. I mean, when I'm home and I'm by myself late at night. No, it's not a good feeling. Not a good feeling. Whoops, I think I just zoomed that in. Oh my god, my eyes look so blue out here. Anyway, 50 minutes in. I love you guys. Thank you so much for listening to my story. Thank you so much for subscribing to me. I'm so happy I made it to 50 and now I think it's 52. Subscribe. If you have any questions about this, leave them down below because I'll answer openly and honestly. Excuse me. If you have any advice for me, okay, like I need advice on weapons because apparently anything other than beer spray, I'm going to get charged with. You told me today. It's like, it's your home and they're breaking in your home to kill you and you use bear spray, which will deter them, but you can't hit them with something, knock them out. Nope, you'll be charged. But I mean, I guess it would be not a big deal to me to be charged with a weapon if it saved me or my daughter's life, right? So, yeah. I just need some advice on the weapons. I have friends, I know people that are like, oh, I have this and that if you want it. And I'm like, The only thing is, when we took self-defense course, they were saying, like, what if it gets turned back on you? It can get turned back on you. And then you're in trouble because what if he took the weapon and hit me with it or something? This is so ridiculous. I want this to end, and I want it to end well, and I want him caught. And if it's the same guy, I can't tell you how happy that would make me and my daughter. If it's a different guy, it still makes me happy because you get one jerk off the street. There's one less jerk on the street. Okay, I got a lot of sun today, and I was running around. I was doing a lot, and I'm exhausted. But I really wanted to do this YouTube video. So I tried doing it like several times. It wasn't working. So finally it worked. Yay! So 52 minutes now. I don't have a problem with talking, do I? Anyways, if you made it this far, if you made it all the way here to hear my whole story, awesome to you. Please subscribe, please like, please comment, give me advice or take my advice. Anything you want. Anything you want, that's the way. Copyright. Okay, so anyway, I think you can only do 5 seconds, 10 seconds. I'm gonna go and I'm going to watch a movie with my daughter and I'm going to relax. And I'm kind of anticipating and waiting for this guy to show up at my house again. Because now I know that I can just call 911 and this guy will be on it. It makes you feel a lot less stressed. I was having anxiety from it, and it's just good to know. I don't know, like, will he see this? I mean, are you watching me? Like, if you're watching me, you need to stop. You need to stop watching me. You need to stop tormenting me. You need to stop doing this because you will get caught. Like, I'm going to make it my mission to catch you. And police are not light on it either, even though this guy hates cops. Doesn't matter. That's my mission. And I hope we can find out who it is, and I hope he gets the proper justifiable treatment, punishment, time. So, take care. Love you all. And we'll talk to you later. I haven't done one of these in a long time. I think it's the cut sign. Ciao. That was not it. Is it this one? That's filters. How do I stop this? What is it? This one? I have to put, I probably should have decided how to do this before this. Let's see. So we have all this stuff, which I don't want to do. We don't want to start a poll. And, oh, I don't want to lose this video. I'm not sure how to do this, guys. I haven't done a live in a really long time. Oh, there we go. Back. It says, welcome to your live chat. Remember to guard your privacy and abide by the community guidelines. Okay, I have done that. I have done that. So, I don't know if I can hold it like this while I do this. Okay, oops, I'm sorry, I'm all over the place because I'm trying to figure out what to do. Well, don't I have to save this? It says share. Top chat, live chat, or no chat. Okay. So this turns it the other way. Okay, and this is the lighting. My lighting is fine. I think the lighting's good. I think the lighting's really good. Okay, I have to take my hand off to get it back here. There we go. Oops, whoops. And then, is it this one? What is this one? Okay, I'm back. It got out of, but I don't know how to save this. Do I share it? Who am I sharing this with? I share it with. Oops, sorry guys. I'm holding this with my. Why is it not letting me create post? Create post. Okay, well let me create post. Share, and I'll do. Oh, I don't want to do Facebook. I want to do YouTube. YouTube. Okay. Copy link. Copied. I just don't know where it is. Okay. Anyway, so okay. So I'm doing this on my phone, so it is not really it's not really, I don't know if live just automatically saves. Oh my god, I'm so out of it. You know what I'm thinking? I think I'm thinking about Facebook. You have to save your live. I've never done a YouTube live before. I've never done a YouTube live before because, well, because I never had enough subscribers, right? Oh, so I get it. So I am going to copy it just in case. Let's see, share. Let's see. Oh, whoops, where's my copy? Copy. It still should say like finish though, right? I remember it saying finish somewhere else. Let's see. Upload. If it goes here. Okay.